So here we are then, welcome to Gdansk, which, got to say, with the weather, it's almost English. Dull and overcast. It's a lot cooler than it has been for the majority of games here at Euro 2012. And we're going to hope we can put the politics aside for 90 minutes and concentrate on the football. We've got this powerful, confident Germany team on the back of 14 successive competitive international victories against the Greek team who shocked the world in 2004 and have surprised one or two as well by reaching the quarter-finals. Don't forget their finest hour came with the German in charge when Otto Rehhagel led them to victory at Euro 2004 in Portugal. The winners will face England or Italy in this bowl of a stadium inside Gdansk, which from the outside looks pretty similar to Munich's Allianz Arena. We've got these amber panels on the side of the arena, which makes it very impressive to look at. And we've got Germany, the second favourites for the tournament behind Spain, who haven't lost a competitive game since the World Cup semi-final, bidding to win a major tournament for the first time since Euro 1996. And they've made some changes tonight, surprisingly so, 4 of them. Out go Lars Bender, Lucas Podolski, Mario Gomez and Thomas Muller. So Jerome Boateng's back from suspension and starts at right back. And the front 3 are completely changed. Marco Reus, Miroslav Klose and Andre Schürrle. And for all of the talk about this being the youngest ever Germany side, Danny Mills has just worked out they've got 480 caps between them, so they're certainly not lacking experience here, particularly with Klose, who wins his 120th cap tonight for Germany, who line up with Manuel Neuer in goal, a back 4 of Jerome Boateng, Mats Hummels, Holger Badstuber and Philipp Lahm, the captain, then Sami Khedira and Bastian Schweinsteiger, Mesut Ozil floating around the midfield with Marco Reus on one side, Andre Schürrle on the other, and Miroslav Klose, so often the hero at major tournaments for Germany, leading the line preferred tonight to Mario Gomez, who's on the bench. 2 changes tonight for Greece. Makos comes in for Karagounis, who's suspended, and Ninis replaces Gekas in a formation that's supposed to be 4-2-3-1, but might actually turn out to be 4-6-0, depending on how well Germany starts. Sifakis is the goalkeeper. The defenders Torosidis, Papastathopoulos, Papadopoulos and Savelas. Then Makos and Maniatis, the holding midfield players, with Ninis on one side, Samaras on the other, and Katsouranis, the holdover from the Euro 2004 victorious side, supporting Dimitris Salpingidis, who's going to play in a much more attacking role tonight for Greece, who have got their supporters bouncing up and down behind Sifakis' goal, away to our right-hand side in blue, with the flags over there and the scarves as well, really enjoying things, and the vast majority of the Germany supporters behind Manuel Neuer's goal, away to our left. Greece will wear all blue and play from right to left in the first half against the Germany side in white shirts, black shorts and white socks. And the second quarter-final at Euro 2012 is underway on 5 Live Sport from the BBC. In fact, it's going to be a false start. We've got to start again.
Well, after that big countdown, someone's got a little bit carried away. Half a second too early, I think Greece have kicked off.
It doesn't bode well when they can't get the kick-off right, does it? We are now underway. Danny Mills, your thoughts?
Well, I think I was really looking forward to watching this German side and having looked at it. I know there's been changes in the team, bringing 2 slightly younger wingers in, slightly less experienced. I think that could be a bonus for Germany. There was possibly a little bit of complacency going to creep into this German side. On paper, they should blow Greece away. Sometimes, bringing some younger players in, just freshen it up a little bit. They might be out there really trying to impress.
Ozil gets the first chance just outside the penalty area, plays the ball into the box, and it's a good challenge inside the penalty area by Papastathopoulos, who was able to come across and deny Andre Schürrle a goal-scoring opportunity. And in fact, it's going to be a Greek ball. I think the flag was up quickly on this near side. Only just offside, wasn't he, Schürrle, as he made the run in from the left-hand side. But that's what they've got to watch tonight, Greece. The ability of Bastian Schweinsteiger and Mesut Ozil to pop up in positions where you don't really expect to find them.
Well, unfortunately, the Greeks did this in their second group game against the Czech Republic, where, after 5 or 6 minutes, they were down and out of the game. Defensively, they were all over the place, and they started exactly the same way. That was very, very close to being onside. You could argue it was onside.
Danny, the worry for me is that they're now playing the ball across the back 4 as though they're playing for penalties already with 90 seconds gone. This doesn't bode well for an attacking showpiece between Germany and Greece.
No, certainly not. I think if Germany managed to get one in the first 20, 30 minutes, I think they could run away with it.
There's a ball into the penalty area towards Schürrle, played into the centre. Klose slipped on the edge of the 6-yard box. If he would have been able to keep his footing, surely he would have scored. Danny pointed out a few minutes ago the goal mouths are in a terrible state at both ends of the ground, and that didn't help Miroslav Klose as he tried to put the brakes on and control the ball, slipped, and Greece were able to clear. Of greater concern for Germany, though, is a challenge by Samaras on Khedira. The game was allowed to carry on by the Slovenian referee Damir Skamina, but Khedira stayed down and looks in quite a bit of pain. It looks as though it's Samaras with a challenge just at the bottom of the shin, around the ankle area, on Sami Khedira, the Real Madrid midfield player.
Yeah, just seeing it again on the replays. I think Samaras has the right to go for the ball. It's one-footed. It's one of those, it's the follow-through that has caused Khedira the problem. Just his follow-through takes him into the studs, which is very unfortunate. Sometimes it's one of those tackles that you can't really help, but Greece already, twice they've allowed the Germans, into their penalty area. And you're right, had Klose not have slipped, and the goal areas do look very, very heavy and very, very warm. After the Spain-Croatia game, we did have the most horrendous thunderstorm here, and it just poured and poured for a good 3 or 4 hours, absolutely torrential, and that certainly hasn't helped. But you can tell by the way the Greece have set up at the moment, they're going to just sit round about the edge of their box and allow Germany to have all the ball.
The German supporters let off a smoke bomb during the anthems, and the smoke is still hanging around the stadium away to our left-hand side as Germany come forward on the left. Ball played forward to Ozil just outside the penalty area, then Schürrle just outside the box, and now Khedira. Khedira's going to shoots low, it's spilled and it's in! Germany have scored just with 3 minutes on the clock, but the flag has gone up on the near side. It was stabbed in by Marco Reus, I think it was, from the edge of the 6-yard box. Sifakis, the goalkeeper, has gone down in a heap inside his own goal mouth, rolling around in that muddy patch. We're just seeing the replay, Danny. It's a very, very tight decision.
Yeah, very, very tight.
It was Schweinsteiger, wasn't it, who got there, I think, to bundle it in.
Just offside, I think.
Very, very tight.
Incredibly tight. But again, I think that the keeper's gone down injured again, trying to play for time already, Sifakis. And I've got a feeling this is going to be the way it goes. But already, Germany have had 3 great opportunities to take the lead. I don't quite get this. The Greeks came into this competition with one of the tightest defensive records, around. They've only lost 2 in 24 games. Against the Czech Republic, they were all over the place. And already this evening, that same defence, looks disastrous. And it looked like it, if they managed to stay onside, that it could easily be, 5-6-0 in this game.
Well, Michaelis Sifakis, the goalkeeper, still being treated inside the 6-yard box of Greece, away to our right-hand side. It's been a strange start to the match. Greece seem reluctant to leave their own penalty area, and Germany seem as though they can cut through them at will every time they get the possession of the ball anywhere near the penalty area. This could be an extremely long night for Greece, Danny, if Germany do manage to get the early goal, which at the moment looks extremely likely.
Oh, definitely. And again, the players like Schweinsteiger, who produced 2 fantastic passes in the earlier group games for Gomez to score. They're exceptional players, and they're not going to worry. They will take their time and be patient. And and if you allow teams of this quality enough of the ball and chances, they are going to score.
Germany have got the possession, 0-0, 5 minutes gone. They could have had a couple of goals already. The second favourites for Euro 2012 on this magnificent run of 14 straight competitive wins. They've scored in 19 successive matches. It's the best run of form that any German side has ever had. And here's one of the main architects on the right-hand side, Mesut Ozil, who had such a fantastic season in the Liga for Real Madrid. And now Jerome Boateng, short pass back to Sami Khedira, and then out towards the right-hand side. And Reus, who's going to be a Borussia Dortmund player next season. He's the player they've brought in to replace Kagawa, who's on his way to the Premier League in Manchester United. And now Germany move the play out towards the left-hand side, and the captain, Philipp Lahm. A little flick there by Schweinsteiger. Lahm again, just outside the box to Klose, who's already got an extremely muddy shirt. Then Khedira hits the shot from 30 yards or so, and that's always rising it over the top of the bar. And a free kick to Greece away to our right-hand side. Danny Mills.
Yeah, again, Schweinsteiger, just little flicks. What I love about Schweinsteiger is he's almost anonymous. The way he just drifts around the pitch. You don't see him for 2 or 3 minutes, or you don't think you see him, and then he pops up and has a little flick or plays a fantastic pass. Khedira, similar to the shot a minute ago, I think he just snatched at this one, as the challenge came in, he was aware that he didn't want to follow through and kick someone's foot again. Maybe still a little bit sore from that challenge from Samaras.
Playing in his 5th major tournament, Bastian Schweinsteiger, the Bayern Munich midfield player, winning his 94th cap tonight at the age of 27. And Danny made the point when we were discussing this match over lunch earlier today that this is a Germany team that could potentially be around for the next 3 tournaments or so, because it's the youngest team that Germany had ever sent to a major tournament, and there's so much talent in this Germany squad that it's going to be very difficult for Joachim Löw to try and factor other players into the 23, because it's already laden with some wonderful players. But here come Greece with Maniatis just outside the penalty area, and then a low shot from the bearded figure of Makos, which dribbled along the ground, and it's picked up by Manuel Neuer in a pretty garish bright red outfit away to our left hand side. But at last, Danny, a Greek attack.
Well, I think that could be one of very, very few, and I'm not quite sure we can even call that a shot on target. More of a weak pass back. But just looking at the German team, 5, 6, maybe even 7 players under the age of 23 in this squad. And the average age gets pushed up to 25 by Klose, who obviously is 34. So a very, very bright future for the Germans. Here's
Royce on the right hand side. Rolled back now to the fullback Boateng, who plays it square to Khedira with the long dark hair and the Alice band midway inside the Greek half in a central position. And now the captain of Germany, Philipp Lahm, on the far touchline, rolls it forward towards Andre Schürrle of Bayer Leverkusen, and then back to Sami Khedira, 10 yards or so inside the Greek half. They're prepared to be patient, Germany, and they might have to be tonight, bearing in mind they're going to have all 10 outfield players between them and the goal whenever they get the possession. The pass is misplaced on the far side, and it's a throw into Greece in the right back position, and Torosidis, the Olympiakos right back, is going to take it. 8 minutes played on 5 Live. It's Germany 0, Greece 0, and already the Greeks have set down the marker, exactly what they're going to do, although there's a chance here for Salpingidis to run into the penalty area, but the ball rolls through to Manuel Neuer, who can bowl it out quickly to this right hand side, and Jerome Boateng. If there is a weakness though in the Germany side, they've only kept 2 clean sheets in their last 6 matches, and did concede against Holland and Denmark in the group stage. So despite the fact they score plenty, they have potentially got a bit of a soft centre as well, although whether Greece will be able to exploit that, we'll wait and see. Ozil, and now Lahm just outside the penalty area. Lahm challenged on the edge of the box by Papadopoulos, cleared as far as Khedira, crossed in towards Klose, who can't get a run on the ball, and that floats behind for a goal kick to Greece, away to our right hand side. 0-0.
I think the Germans have to be careful not to get frustrated. We've seen against a lot of the great teams, the likes of Spain, Germany, where teams are going to come. They're going to park the bus effectively, put 10, if not all 11 players, behind the ball and just sit there and allow them to come onto you. You've got to be patient, you've got to move the ball quickly, and you've got to rely on those special players to come up with a moment of magic or two. It's very, very difficult when teams just sit deep and don't go chasing the ball to find those spaces, and that'll be the tricky situation for the likes of Ozil and Schweinsteiger to pick those passes out.
Well, Greece have been ultra defensive for the opening 10 minutes, and here come Germany. Schweinsteiger gives the ball away, played it out towards the far side towards Schürrle. Salpingidis now pops up with the ball just inside German territory, tackled over there on the left hand side by Lahm, and then tidied up by Schürrle, back to Holger Badstuber, and then into the centre of the midfield and Sami Khedira. Khedira inside the centre circle, but still inside his own half, with a helicopter buzzing around the skies here in Gdansk, inside this bowl of a stadium, with all of these amber panels on the outside, which gives it a very futuristic look. There are 1 or 2 empty seats in the far corner. I think that's the area where the Greek supporters should be, and they've not sold their full allocation. But apart from that, pretty much full, just like the stadium was last night in Warsaw for the game between Portugal and the Czech Republic. And now here come Greece, and they've got a 2-on-2 with Katsourannis, played the ball into the penalty area towards Salpingidis, lacked the accuracy, and it's through to Manuel Neuer. But really, Danny, when chances are going to be at such a premium for Greece, they might have to capitalise better on those kinds of situations.
Yeah, Germany.
And Khedira plays the ball into Royce. Royce into the penalty area, left foot shot, dragged it wide. Good opportunity that for Marco Royce, who just managed to slip away from his marker on the near side. I've got to try the left back again. Savelas.
That's the one.
He's the one that's going to give me problems.
Well, I'm fortunate. I've seen them twice, so I should have no excuse in getting his name wrong. But Sefakis has gone down again, wasting time. This is ridiculous. The referee's going to have to do something about that. He's complaining of some sort of head injury.
Well, there was contact, wasn't there, when Germany had the goal disallowed, and he received treatment for a bang on the head after that. The problem they've got, they're down to one goalkeeper, aren't they, after Sifakis, because Halkias, the goalkeeper, is part of the Euro 2004 squad. He's injured, isn't he? So Vorzas is the only goalkeeper they've got available.
Yeah, he pulled his hamstring. But again, Germany just looking bright as they went through there. You know, those two wide players coming in from the line, looking for those little diagonal balls and straight runs in behind fullbacks. I think that's where Germany are going to hope they've got some sort of success. Greece, you know, Salpingidis up front. Any sort of chance that comes their way, they are going to have to capitalise on. It's a bit like when you play Spain. You will get chances, but you might only get 3 or 4 in the game, and you've got to make sure that 1, if not 2 of them go in.
12 minutes played. You're listening to 5 Live from the BBC Euro 2012. Don't forget highlights of this match at 11:30 tonight on BBC One. Tomorrow we've got Spain against France, the third quarter final, and then after that on Sunday the game we're all looking forward to, England against Italy. Our build-up starts at 6 o'clock in the morning with Nicky Campbell and the breakfast crew, and we'll bring you the whole game live. Here's Royce into the penalty area, heavy touch by Klose, picked up by Ozil, flicked to the edge of the 6-yard box. Ozil went down after playing the ball. The official behind the line away to our right-hand side, unmoved by that. Ozil just asked him the question, and the referee from Slovenia didn't award the penalty, despite the appeals. And now Khedira's been fouled a couple of yards in from the right touchline, and it will be a Germany free kick.
Well, that's Samaras again, diving in from behind. Tell you what, he never did that at Man City.
No.
2 tackles in 10 minutes, that's incredible. But again, you know, Germany just going to be patient, not get frustrated.
Patience isn't usually a problem for them, especially with the likes of Schweinsteiger and Ozil to pull the strings and try and unpick the lock. They've got a free kick 3 or 4 yards in from the right touchline, and Mesut Ozil is going to deliver this ball into the penalty area, into the centre, headed away by a Greek defender, the captain Katsourakis, and then played down the left-hand side towards Salpingidis, just short of the halfway line. Now Savelas forward again for Samaras with the long hair to chase, and he puts the pressure on Schweinsteiger, and Schweinsteiger's gone down under the challenge of Samaras and is clutching the right ankle, and the ball is kicked out of play by Philip Lahm, and it's going to be a yellow card for Samaras, who started this game, Danny Mills, like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah, incredible. Has obviously thought, I'm going to get stuck in. You know, 2 borderline tackles, I think, on Khedira, and now one just a little bit late. Unnecessary as well on Schweinsteiger. You know, again, the last thing that Greece need is to get a man sent off.
What do Greece do if Germany score? Because they're not built to retaliate. The way this side's set up with the personnel they've got, they're not built to attack, are they?
No, they're not. And they very rarely score more than 1 goal in a game. In the first game against Poland, they were abject in the first half. And then Salpingidis was introduced at half-time, and you know, he's bright, he's got energy, and I think that's why he's playing up front alone rather than Gekas, because you know he will chase lost causes. But really, going forward, the Greeks offer very, very little.
Here's Lahm on the left-hand side. Germany qualified as the winners of Group A. They beat Portugal, Holland and Denmark. Greece drew with Poland in the opening match. Then they were beaten by the Czech Republic and got that Karagounis goal in the 1-0 win against Russia to get through as runners-up in Group A. Ball hooked away from the edge of the Greek penalty area, only as far as Schweinsteiger, who heads it back into the centre circle to Badstuber. It's been pretty predictable so far. Greece in defensive positions and Germany pushing forward looking for the goal. While it's 0-0, Greece will be happy. Kyriakos Papadopoulos clears towards halfway, but they'll come straight back, Germany, in the white shirts and the black shorts, with Jerome Boateng on the right-hand side, floated into the middle. Down in the centre went Sami Khedira, under the challenge of Papastathopoulos. The Greek defender's not happy with the Real Madrid midfield player. He looked at the linesman and was hoping he might get a penalty decision. Nothing doing, and it's a goal kick to Greece.
No, I think as the cross comes in, he throws himself towards the ball. There is a bit of a hand on his shoulder. Nothing too much, nothing that you don't see every time a ball comes into the box. But no, I think, you know, he had a right to go down, dive into the ball. Didn't really expect a penalty, I don't think, for it. But I think that's where Germany also have the advantage. They do have players that can swing in decent crosses. You know, with the likes of players breaking from midfield and closer up front, they have that option of getting a goal from a cross as well as trying to play neat little 1-2s around the box.
Well, as well as being very good footballers, they're a big physical team, Germany, the biggest team at Euro 2012, but they've given the ball away, and Samaras can run down the left-hand side with the long hair and the orange boots, tidied up though by the very impressive Mats Hummels. I doubt there's been a better central defender at Euro 2012 than Mats Hummels, who looks a real good player, the Borussia Dortmund player. Now it's with Bad Stuber of Bayern Munich on the left-hand side, and then Schweinsteiger, his teammate at the Allianz Arena, just inside the Greek half of the field. Schweinsteiger prompting and probing, gives the ball to Andre Schürrle, who is tackled by Karagounis, who comes away with the ball with that fluorescent green captain's armband on his left sleeve. Now forward come Greece down the right-hand side with Ninnis. Ninnis towards Salpingidis inside the penalty area. Challenge comes in from Hummels. Ball worked out now to Schweinsteiger, who, unhurried as always, plays it short to Hummels, and then out towards the right-back Boateng on the right-hand side. There have been a couple of semi-promising positions for Greece, Danny, but the final ball has let them down.
And also they just simply haven't got the numbers forward. When they break, they're breaking in ones, maybe twos. That's about it.
Here's Marco Reus inside left channel, played forward towards Schürrle. It'll fall for Closer inside the penalty area, tries to make a run on goal. It bounces on the edge of the 6-yard box. It's picked up by Sifakis, with Papadopoulos just shepherding the ball back to his goalkeeper, and this next German attack breaks down. So 17.5 minutes played, Germany 0, Greece 0, and that's exactly the kind of start that Fernando Santos' Greek team were looking to make. Set up in a very defensive system, looking to try and soak up the German pressure, and just like they did at Euro 2004, maybe try and hit them with a sucker punch at some stage during the match. In the meantime, here comes Marco Reus. Gets the cross in from the right-hand side, but blocked on the edge of the Greek penalty area, and then brought forward towards the halfway line and played to Samaras. Sliding in there with Schweinsteiger, and the ball's gone out for a throw to Greece, 5 yards short of the halfway line. I've noticed, Danny, that quite a few of the players have been slipping over, haven't they, so far out there? It seems pretty slippy underfoot, this pitch here in Gdansk.
Pitch looks very, very heavy. As we said, I was here for the Spain-Croatia game, and just after, there was obviously a severe weather warning. The heavens literally opened, a huge thunderstorm, and the pitch hasn't really recovered from that. The goal mouths look muddy and look heavy, but all over the pitch it's very, very heavy, and I think that's going to take its toll on the players, especially the Greek team, as the game wears on.
Ninnis, the latest player to slip over, which gives the possession back to Germany. They're inside the Greek half of the field with Khedira, and now Reus. First time pass by Reus, didn't find Ozil, and it's now with Georgios Samaras on this left-hand side. The Celtic man will run towards the halfway line. Two former Manchester City players in direct opposition, Jerome Boateng and Georgios Samaras, and the German defender concedes a throw into Greece inside German territory on the left-hand side. 0-0 with 19 minutes gone.
Well, I think Germany quite obviously are quite happy to play almost 2-on-2 at the back. They realise there's going to be no great threat in numbers. When the Greek players, Samaras out on the left, Ninnis out on the right-hand side, if they get the ball, they've got to do so much. They've got at least 50, 60 yards almost sometimes to run towards goal, almost unaided. So for them to score at the moment, Greece, it's going to have to be almost a miracle, I think.
Germany inside the Greece half with Ozil to Khedira. Khedira didn't complete the pass, and it's cleared away to Samaras on this left-hand side, the Greek left-hand side, playing wide on the left to Georgios Samaras, and gets the ball infield to the very experienced Katsouras, the Greek captain, with Karagounis suspended tonight. Katsouras then tried to play it in towards Ninnis on the far side. Bad Stuber will get across for Germany and tidy things up back to the goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, away to our left-hand side, and he plays it forward to Schweinsteiger, and the metronome of a midfielder from Bayern Munich can cross the halfway line for the Germans. 20 minutes gone, 0-0 on 5 Live at Euro 2012, and here's Mesut Ozil played into the penalty area towards Closer, who won't latch onto that. The ball will roll behind, and it's a goal kick to Greece, away to our right-hand side. Danny Mills
thought Mesut Ozil maybe should have shot from that sort of distance. Slippy surface with the goalkeeper. The Greeks were sitting so deep, they were probably only 10 yards out from goal. Trying to play a little ball in behind the two centre-halves for Closer is going to be very, very difficult. And at the moment, I think it's probably going to plan for the Greeks. After that shaky start.
You can't blame them for what they're doing, but it just kills it as a spectacle, doesn't
it? Well, it's very much sort of anti-football, isn't it? It's very much Chelsea, Barcelona that we saw.
It's not really in keeping with the tournament, is it? That's been full of attacking
Chelsea,
play and full of goals.
But they're not in the same class, player for player, as Germany. So the Greeks have got to try and find a different way to win or get a result. And at the moment, I think they'll be pretty happy after that first 4 or 5 minutes where they conceded chances. Since then, they've kept Germany effectively outside the 18-yard box.
9 outfield players between Schweinsteiger and the goal. He's got the ball midway inside the Greek half of the field. Germany happy to keep possession on this right-hand side with Jerome Boateng and then Mesut Ozil. They're well organised and well marshalled, this Greek team, and they're confident too. 2 defeats in 24 matches under Fernando Santos. And now Schweinsteiger's got the ball and spreads it to the left-hand side, and the fullback Philipp Lahm. He's going to take on Ninnis to the outside and wriggles away from the Greek player. Crossed into the centre. Schürrle, the target, will challenge for the ball inside the box. Headed away by Papastathopoulos and then won back by Sami Khedira for Germany. And now it's with Badstuber, who's got time to turn and find Schweinsteiger. Forward once more now to the left-hand side and Schürrle. And then back to Schweinsteiger. 15 yards or so inside the Greek half of the field, but Germany playing at walking pace because there are so many blue-shirted Greek defenders between them and the goal. There's no space. Khedira will try and find some and play it wide to Boateng on the right-hand side. Boateng in a crossing position, but elects instead to play it into the feet of Khedira. Khedira swings the ball into the penalty area and Papadopoulos heads it away towards the halfway line.
Well, again, it's very much like watching a Spain game, effectively. They've got so much possession of the ball. The Germans are playing at walking pace because the Greeks are refusing, really, to come out and close people down, which means there aren't many gaps. You know, there's a bank of 4 and effectively a bank of 5 in front of that. It's very, very hard for the Germans to find
Royce
space.
to closer. Now Marco Royce lays the ball to Ozil. Should have scored. Saved by the goalkeeper. What a chance for Mesut Ozil. Saved by the legs of Sifakis. The best chance of the game. And Germany should be ahead, Danny Mills.
Well, incredible. Can't believe Ozil has missed that. Brilliant 1-2 on the edge of the box. Very, very unselfish from Royce. Rolled it into Ozil and should have scored. Really was almost a bit casual, if you like, with his finish and straight into the keeper.
Ozil's taken the corner short and got the ball back again, swung in by Schweinsteiger and flicked away by a Greek defender. We're beyond the midway point of the first half. It's 0-0 and here's Alan Green.
The tournament leads a favour from Germany. They need to knock out Greece. Appallingly limited. A shot driven in by Royce comes off the shins of the goalkeeper Sifakis, who is vulnerable in that Greek goal.
It certainly is, but the trouble is now, you know, Greece have had a couple of half scares and, you know, they've made saves. They start to grow in confidence and start to think, actually, this could be our night if we dig in.
Ozil's corner, left-footed from the right, easily headed away by Samaras, collected by Boateng, on to Ozil, down the right side and moving towards the edge of the Greek penalty area. Into it now, taps it back. Oh, that really should be enough. What? That should have been a goal. I can't believe that. Goodness gracious, how did Royce miss? And then Klose almost turned it in the far post anyway.
Well, again, Ozil, little bit of trickery. Royce, well, it's difficult, that shot when it's coming across you. He's just trying to guide it into the far post. Not a great shot, not on target. Closer, well, was stretching and just a couple of inches beyond him. But this is what I mean. Suddenly now, Germany have had 2 or 3 good chances. They've missed them. The keeper's got a bit lucky. You know, and that will do the Greeks the world of good. That will start to let them grow in confidence. You know, if they get to half an hour, they will start to think, right, hang on till half time, and they will start to hit these little sort of marks during the game. And if Germany haven't scored, they're going to start to get frustrated.
Schürrle chests it down, Klose helps it on, another chance for Royce, and another miss by Royce. He could have had a hat-trick.
Well, I'm dreading this now. the way it's going, I think, you know, it looks like Germany for somehow aren't going to score. It almost looks like the Greeks are charmed at the moment. You know, Germans have had 5 or 6 really good opportunities. Finishing has been either a little bit casual or a little bit erratic. Touch unfortunate as well with offside. And, you know, if they don't score soon and they don't score before half time, as I said, the Greeks will really start to grow in confidence and believe they can get something, you know, in 90 minutes and beyond that.
Well, they're going to have to get a penalty or some other kind of set piece, because they've got nothing up front at all, Greece. I mean, nominally, Salpingidis is a striker. He spent most of his time back in his own half. He's being ticked off now by the referee for a challenge on Schweinsteiger. 70% of the possession has been German, and they've had 6 attempts on goal. They look overwhelmingly the better side, but here on 5 Live, it's still 0-0 in a chilly Gdansk. Goodness, the temperature is so different to what I was accustomed to in Ukraine. Badstuber playing the ball forward to Schürrle on the far side. He likes to tuck in, as does Royce. That's a poor pass by Badstuber, giving the ball away, and it's flicked forward, no offside flag, and well anticipated Neuer getting there before Salpingidis and putting the ball out of play for a throw-in.
Well, unfortunately from the Greece, just really a hopeful ball forward. I thought it was offside to begin with, but it wasn't.
Hummels was playing
yeah,
along.
Certainly, and well played Manuel Neuer. Came out playing like a sweeper, 10 yards outside his box, just came outside and put it out for a throw-in. So, Germany do have to be careful. I think complacency is their biggest enemy. I also think maybe casualness. I think they need to up the tempo and try and go at the Greeks. I think that they realise that they're going to have so much possession. If they don't pass the ball sharply and get it moving a little bit quicker, defending becomes an awful lot easier for these Greek teams.
But it's hard to criticise them when they've had 6 attempts on goal, Danny. I just feel if they get one, that it won't be enough. I mean, it'll just lead to others.
Well, that's the key, but they've got to get one. And at the moment, the Greeks are wasting time. Again, that's Papastathopoulos goes down and he's not injured, but he's going to try and kill the game, take as long as he possibly can, maybe bring the trainer on. And this is going to be the pattern of the game. It's basically can the Greeks hold on for 90 minutes and then 120 minutes.
It just reminds me of 2004. It's anti-football. It really is. And I shudder to think if Greece can go beyond this stage. How did they get out of the group? Well, I mean, they were bottom of the group going into the last game.
Just ask Chelsea fans. If you get to a final somehow, and we were there in Barcelona, where effectively Chelsea got out of their half twice and managed to score 2 goals. Sometimes, like I said earlier, you have to find a way to win. These Greek players are nowhere near the quality of the German side, so they've got to try and do something a little bit different because you can't simply outplay them.
Ninnis trying to win the ball on the far side of the field, didn't. He's helped out though by a colleague. The ball though is back in Germany's possession and cleared by Neuer upfield. 28 minutes gone here on 5 Live. Still 0-0, but it's been all Germany. And then Royce, who's been a terrible disappointment to me so far, known as Rolls Royce in Germany, but I don't see why he gets the rave notices. Not on the opening 28 minutes of this game. Here's Badstuber to Lamb, the captain, and tapped on to Schuller on the far side. Royce has come in from the right flank. Ozil is out there at the moment, and I think Royce is being told to get back where he belongs. But here's Schweinsteiger just chipping it to Philipp Lahm down the left side. Good control by the Bayern fullback. Lahm cuts inside onto his right foot and then runs into a Greek defender, but the ball breaks kindly to Schweinsteiger, who gives it away. And here's Ninnis, another player like Royce, who's come into this European Championship with a great domestic reputation. Hasn't shown it so far tonight. He's hardly had any possession.
Yeah, it's difficult for the Greeks, but at the moment they're frustrating the Germans. They're organised, they're solid, they're working very, very hard. They've rode their luck at times with the chances that the Germans have had. But we've seen already, players, Ozil giving the ball away, Schweinsteiger, all uncharacteristically, unforced errors. And this is what happens when teams sit deep. Don't come out and challenge you. There are no spaces, and it makes it very, very difficult as the attacking team.
Boateng with a great run down the right side, completely ignored by Ozil. Ozil looks for Khedira onto Royce. Royce throws himself down there. That wasn't a foul challenge on him, and the ball breaks back to Sifakis, the Greek goalkeeper. Angela Merkel is here inside this Gdansk arena. I wonder if Germany reached the final, will she go to Kiev? Because she was let's say less inclined to show her face in Ukraine because of the treatment of the former Prime Minister, who's actually still in jail in Kharkiv. Closer lost the ball, and it's cleared by Sifakis up towards the halfway line. Yunus just jumped into the German player. No need to hold up play by Scamina, the referee, because Germany keep possession. It's tapped to the left side by Ozil, and now back to Lahm. Schweinsteiger. Overwhelmingly the game has been played in the half to our right. That's the Greek half. Here comes Hummels moving forward. Hummels asking too much, and the Greeks can counter-attack here. Samaras shouldn't have got to the ball before Badstuber, but did get to the ball, and then Samaras was having his shirt pulled, but is now supported by Savelis, the left full-back. Savelis running forward, Badstuber's across there, helped out by Boateng, and I think the ball broke off the Greek left-back. It did. It's going to be a throw into Germany.
Well, Savelas down the left-hand side, into a crossing position. Not a single player near him for probably 50 yards. That's how isolated he was. But that's how the Greeks are going to play. And now it's up to the Germans to break them down. They've said, look, this is our system. This is what we're going to do.
Good ball.
Break us down.
Good ball by Ozil to Schürrle. Schürrle approaching the penalty, and then he doesn't get the pass right to Khedira, and it's cleared by Greece up to I was going to call him the lone striker, but he's just another midfield player, Salpingidis. But that broke kindly now. Again to Greece. Samras now, he's actually got support with a colleague. Samras, 30 yards from goal, flicks it away to the far side. Ninnis brings it under control, the yard outside the penalty, and then it's goodness, Neuer made something of that shot. He made it look almost semi-decent.
Well,
he must have slipped.
Ninnis cut in from the right-hand side onto his left foot, hit a sort of a half-hearted shot, effectively. Neuer, stretching, spilled it as well, which is very, very unlike him. Had somebody been following up, could have been problems, but the Germans, for me, the tempo at the moment is too slow. They're making it quite easy for the Greek players to get behind the ball. Somehow they've got to draw the Greeks out, because at the moment, and everybody I'm sure will have watched that Champions League semi-final where Chelsea camped on their own box, and just allowed Barcelona to pass the ball in front of them. It's exactly what is happening here. 13
minutes to half-time, Germany 0, Greece 0 on 5 Live. Schweinsteiger back to Boateng, who's suspended for the final group game. On to Royce. Boateng again, crosses left-footed away towards Schürrle on the far side of the field. Good control by the left midfield player, and then he beats the defender and he moves inside the penalty. Schürrle with a shot across the face of goal, but not really threatening Sefakis in that goal, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Well, a good little bit of skill on the far side. Got a touch fortunate, a little bit of a ricochet off the Greek defender, and as he came in, was just trying to bend it into the far corner. Didn't quite get enough on it, and unfortunately for the Germans, well, comfortably wide in the end. And but all of a sudden now, 33 minutes into the game, the Greeks will be thinking, right, half-time is our key. If we can make it to half-time, get in, get some drinks, get a bit of a recovery, sit down and have a rest, they will think that is job well done.
We've lauded the tournament because it hasn't had a goalless draw. The Greeks seem determined to end that. But here come Germany on the attack again. Ball played into Khedira, 30 yards out. Khedira, what's he doing? Flicking it to the right side to Boateng, up from full back. Boateng checks inside Samras, crosses left-footed. Headed up and away by the defender. Headed back in there by Khedira. Klose didn't make any move to the ball, and once more the Greek defence clears. Do you think Klose's justified his selection ahead of Gomez? Well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Here's Ozil. Ozil looking to Lam down the left side. Lam level with the edge of the Greek penalty area. 11 minutes to half time. Lam now into the penalty area and crosses, takes a deflection, goes behind for a corner.
Well, I think it was always going to be a little bit of a risk from Joachim Low. Changing the team around, two sort of slightly younger players playing out wide, fresher, not as much experience, obviously trying to impress. Closer, fantastic goal scoring record, but I think obviously Gomez will be disappointed, but you can see his point. He's maybe trying to rest him for bigger games. Ozil with a corner, this time from the left side, left-footed, high, looking for Hummels. Hummels jumps but heads it only to a blue shirt, and is cleared by Greece. Look, they still stay deep. They've cleared to the halfway line, and then the ball's coming straight back towards their penalty area. Khedira swings the cross in, overhits the cross, but it's going to be kept in play by Ozil on the far side. A couple of yards in from the corner flag, the left corner flag. Ozil, a little slowly, moves towards the penalty area, taps it back to Lam. Lam in now to Schürrle. Schürrle, the Schweinsteiger 10 yards behind him. The ball's gone back towards the centre circle. Now Hummels comes forward from Schweinsteiger's pass. Hummels midway inside the Greek half, into Khedira. Lam's available on the far side. Ozil can get the ball to him, but changes his mind, moves inside the penalty area. Good run by Mehmet Ozil, taps it back. Khedira's shot, spilt by the goalkeeper and cleared surely by the defender. He slips as well. This is much the worst surface in Euro 2012. It really is broken up very badly, and all the players are slipping. Where Sefakis got lucky again as the ball came back off him. It was Makos that just about got in the way. But you do start to think now, the Greek goal seems blessed. Fantastic run from Ozil, checking inside, beating 2 or 3 players. A great layoff. Not a brilliant shot from Khedira, but spilled again by Sefakis. the pitch is absolutely terrible, especially in the goal mounts.
Another corner to Germany. That one's wasted. Schuller didn't make anything of it at all, and Greece cleared to the halfway line. Guess who meets it in the centre circle? Neuer. He's so bored at the back. He came forward to meet that ball. You
have to remember that the Greeks have won a tournament playing this way, and of course they will be encouraged by what they've seen teams do against Spain, and obviously revert back to the Chelsea-Barcelona instance. And again, little foul now. The Germans are definitely getting frustrated. The subs are warming up. Even with 10 minutes to go to half-time, I would expect that Joachim Löw is thinking about a substitution just to try and freshen it up. I think the Germans, they need to up the tempo. At the moment, they're playing too slow, slightly too predictable. They have had some chances, but again, that's chances that are half chances, really. No clear-cut sort of open goals where they've really cut the Greeks apart since the first couple of minutes.
8 minutes to go to half-time. Germany 0, Greece 0. This is 5 Live in the BBC, and I suspect that many of you listening back home normally, quote, hoping that Germany lose, for the sake of football, must be hoping for a German goal here.
Well, I think
Greece aren't interested. They're just not interested.
For the sake of England, I think most people would want Greece to see this out and get a 0-0 draw and take it to penalties and win. I think we all realise that playing Greece, if England can get to the semi-final, would be an awful lot better than playing Germany.
Yeah, but he mustn't be that selfish, though. Boateng swings the cross in from the right side. It belts into a Greek defender and it's out of play for a throw into Germany, which Boateng will take. So many chances for Germany, none of them taken. Boateng with the throw to Schweinsteiger. Back to Boateng. Crosses left-footed into the penalty area. Closer, went to meet it. Good header away by Papadopoulos. And then there's a shot by Schuller. It hits a defender. Royce. Back to Ozil. Non-stop attacking by Germany. Schweinsteiger to Lahm on the far side of the field. He's not needed as a fullback tonight. Lahm taps it back to Ozil. And now Boateng again. Ozil, centre of the Greek half. And flicking it towards the left side, towards Lahm. Lahm chests it down well. Stepping away from the defender. Shoots! What a goal! Philipp Lahm has finally broken through for Germany, and the whole of Euro 2012, except for Greece, is relieved. Germany 1, Greece 0.
Well, possibly the most unexpected scorer of the evening. Philipp Lahm, I think that's his 5th goal for Germany. Came up, cut inside from left back. Very, very good right foot. Not quite sure. First time around, it looked like it might have just bobbled. Just sat up nicely for him as he hit it, cut across it, and, well, drove it into the far corner. I think that's what Germany needed. Something slightly unexpected. It did. It just bobbled just before he hits it. He cuts across the ball, and that, well, nestles into the far corner. Safakis, fingertips on it, couldn't move quick enough with a bend on it to stop it. And I think now that's probably game over, and hopefully now we'll go on and see Germany play some real quality football and score several more goals.
Well, it's over to you, Greece, now. Show us that you can do something else other than to be wholly negative.
Well, in all honesty, they managed to do that in the first game. They came out second half against the Polish and played quite well in the second half. Of course, had the penalty which they missed, which would have won them the game. So it will be interesting now to see if they certainly have a plan B.
Samaras down the left side, but it's swung away on the volley by Boateng, out of play for a throw-in. A little over 5 minutes to go to half-time here on 5 Live. Consummate relief in the commentary team here, I think. Germany 1, Greece 0. Just you don't like to see teams being successful playing the way Greece have played tonight. I've only seen little bits and pieces of the games because I've been travelling or otherwise engaged, and they're just desperate. But they're on the attack now, and the ball headed into the penalty area towards Salpingidis. Out comes Neuer, gathers the ball. Salpingidis actually caught him, but they shook hands. Johan done. And the ball is thrown out to the goal scorer, Philipp Lahm.
I'll tell you what, if England play like this against Germany or against Spain, if they get to the final, I think we'll be more than happy for them to win it. You have to remember, England played a little bit like this against France. Sat deep, didn't really create too much or have any shots on target, but they got the result and ended up topping the group. So, unfortunately now in competition football, 3 games to win it, there are teams that are going to sit deep because they realise that, technically they are not as good as their opposition.
Are we not above that? Surely we're above that.
Well, 50 years will tell you not. We've tried other ways. Maybe it's time to sit in, and like I said, if England get a result and manage to win this, I'm not sure anybody's too bothered how we win it.
That debate is for another night. The ball's out of play on this day side of the field. It's going to be a throw into Greece. And you think about Lamb, he has got a great right foot, but he plays left back for his country, right back for his club. We were talking earlier about how great Ashley Cole has been. What a defender Philip Lamb is.
Well, I remember before Philip Lahm was Andres Bremer, again a left back that was very, very right-footed. The Germans seem to produce quite a lot of those sort of players, but Lahm, fantastic servant for his country, incredible amount of caps, and well, now his fifth goal should see Germany into the quarter-final if they're professional about it now.
Here's close-up, back to Ozil, hard by the right touch line, and then a tap from a Greek boot, puts the ball out of play, thrown to Germany. Boateng throws in there. Royce was relatively unmarked, edge of the penalty area. Now it's taken up by Klose. Klose crosses, but the flag is already up for offside, and it's a free kick to Greece.
Well, not quite sure about that offside. One of those sort of issues of second, third phase, and just seeing the goal again, it just bobbled perfectly for Philip Lahm. Kept his eye on the ball, struck it, and because of that bobble, he just struck sort of across the ball, and that made it bend very, very slightly into the far corner beyond the outstretched arm. And it's going to be very, very difficult now for Greece. But I think Germany, if they're professional, if they keep their concentration, they'll be happy just to keep the ball, keep passing it around. If a chance comes their way, they'll take it, but they don't have to force the issue anymore.
Germany lead Greece 1-0 here in the beautiful city of Gdansk on the Baltic coast in Poland. Here's Khedira onto Lamb on the far side. Lamb, by the way, was woefully marked by Ninnis just prior to the goal. Ninnis just let him go as if it didn't matter. A few yards outside the Greek penalty area. Khedira to Ozil, back to Lamb. Ninnis gets in a tackle there, and the ball squirts away to the halfway line, but only to Khedira. I mean, look at this. Salpingidis is the furthest forward for Greece, and he's still 15 yards short of the halfway line. Boateng down the right for Germany, leading Greece 1-0 here in Gdansk. Back to Schweinsteiger, Boateng again. And you're right, Danny, Germany have just exerted control now, but without quite the urgency that they had before the goal. They're in control of the match. Now
they don't need to score. They've got their one goal. They realise that the Greeks are going to sit deep and going to make it very, very difficult. But again, this is tournament football now. A 1-0 win sees them into the semi-final without too much effort, and hopefully without picking up any injuries.
Here's Ozil, Schürrle to his left. Schürrle takes it up, a yard to the left of the penalty, cuts into the penalty. His shot takes a deflection and takes it just wide. Corner.
Again, cutting in shots from distance, Greeks throwing themselves in front of it. I think the trouble for the Greeks is, even if they manage to get one back, it's very, very rare that they manage to score 2 goals. And I'm not sure we can see another 45 minutes without the Germans creating some opportunities, whether they're really pushing for it or not.
Far more impressed with Schürrle than I am with Royce in terms of the 2 wide players for Germany. Corner to Germany, taken by Ozil at the Schweinsteiger, back to Ozil. Ozil crosses, headed clear by Greece, and here's Ninnis, who's supposed to be, an attacking player for Greece, but he's just defending and he's just lost the ball. Here's Lamb coming forward again. Is there going to be another shot from Philip Lamb? No, he taps it back to Ozil. It runs to Boateng. Boateng back to Hummels to Boateng again. Boateng's in a central position inside the Greece half. No need for the fullbacks to defend for Germany. Schweinsteiger to Royce, back to Schweinsteiger, right side for, I think, the team increasingly being seen as favourites here in Euro 2012. Spain have looked a little bit vulnerable. Lamb again. Tap on by Ozil, doesn't find his attempted target. That was closer, and we've got 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, mostly for play acting by the Greeks.
Yeah, they've gone down at every opportunity, tried to kill the game off. Obviously a tactic that they talked about and trying to use to slow the tempo of the game down, which does make it harder for Germany. But I think now that in the second half, Greece are going to have to come out and do something different. At the moment they've had 2 shots on Neuer's goal from distance that never troubled him in the slightest. I think you'd have saved Alan. It'll be interesting to see how the Greeks, and if the Greeks, can change this in the second half.
Ball's given away again by Greece, and here's Schürrle crossing, but that wasn't a good cross. Dinrees, Royce and Greece cleared inevitably back into German possession. They look such an ordinary team, Greece. Never mind how did they get out of the group, how did they qualify ahead of Croatia?
Well, they had an incredible record during qualification. Again, and it's all based on a very, very solid defence.
Schürrle cutting in from the left side onto his right foot. Shoots! Oh my word! Into the side netting. I thought it was into the real net.
Again, unfortunate, but again, a shot from distance. Most of the German chances, have been that. They've been shots, deflections. Again, that one just hits the side netting. I'm really not sure. Germany, I think, in the second half could quite happily just play now for a 0-0. They'll want to save and conserve as much energy as possible. They will want not to get anybody injured at all. Just noticed before the game, Schweinsteiger had a bit of a strapping, I think, on his right ankle, but you could notice through his socks had his trousers pulled up. So there's a chance. The likes of Schweinsteiger, they could even afford to take him off. I think if they're carrying any sort of knock.
Thanks, Colin. We've had a wonderfully serene half-time break here in Gdansk. All kinds of technical issues, but we're back with you on 5 Live. And Germany are coming forward on the left-hand side with Schürrle towards the dead ball line. I can tell you that Greece have made 2 changes at half-time. They've taken off the left-back Savelas for Fotakis, and they've also taken off Ninnis, who, as Alan said in the first half, came in with a big reputation but delivered nothing. And Gekas, who's a striker, has come on. So Danny Mills will tell you what the implications of those changes are in a moment or two, because Germany are coming forward looking for a second goal, leading by 1-0. When we lost our connection to you back in the UK just before half-time, you missed nothing. The first half fizzled out with Germany leading by that Philipp Lahm goal in the first period, scored after 39 minutes, his 5th goal for Germany. On the 90 wins his 90th cap, and Germany have got the ball on the right with closer to Khedira. Little backheel towards Marco Royce, intercepted by Papadopoulos and cleared out of play on the far side. So Germany have Neuer in goal, Boateng, Hummels, Badstuber and Lahm, then Khedira and Schweinsteiger, Royce, Ozil and Schürrle, and closer the lone striker. Greece have Sefakis in goal, Torosidis, Pastathopoulos, Papadopoulos, Fotakis, Makos, Maniatis, Gekas, Katsouras, Samaras and Salpingidis. Danny Mills alongside us. Danny, how are they lining up now with the 2 changes?
Well, it looks like the Greeks have almost gone to 3 at the back. Maniatis has dropped into a 3. Papastopoulos is playing one of the centre-halves, and Papadopoulos is the other centre-half.
Here's a good run by Closer into the penalty area. Tried to cross. There's a challenge that comes in on the Germany striker, and the ball is spun behind for a Germany corner away to the right-hand side. White shirts, black shorts, white socks for Germany, all blue for Greece. Danny.
So they've gone a 5-3. 1-1 formation. Gekas is going to play up front on his own. He's going to stay up there, and I suppose the Greeks are going to have to try and do something different.
Germany corner swung in by Bastian Schweinsteiger from the far side towards Hummels. It's headed away by the Greek defence, and then hooked forward over his head by Boateng. Headed away then by Papastathopoulos, and now it's picked up in midfield by Makos and played out towards this right-hand side. And Salpingidis, who played as a lone striker through the middle in the first half, he's now on the right, with Gekas through the middle and Samaras on the left. And the ball that was played forward, intended for Samaras, is intercepted by Boateng. Now forward come Germany down the right-hand side with Marco Royce. Royce by the corner flag, challenged over there on the far side by Papastathopoulos. And the assistant on the far side has raised his flag and indicates that that's a foul committed by Papastathopoulos, and it's going to be a free kick to Germany, a yard or so in from the right-hand touchline and about 10 yards away from the byline. An attacking position, Danny, and a chance to cross.
Yeah, Germany need good quality into the box. Big side, can cause a threat. Ozil has got to put this in, just fizz the ball in, sort of head height in towards the keeper, he's been poor so far. He's got lucky, shots coming off his body, any sort of touch in and around him will go and cause him problems.
Germany on course for the semi-finals at 1-0. A second goal would make sure, surely. Deep corner into Badstuber, headed down into the 6-yard box and hooked away by a Greek defender, and then one in the air on the edge of the penalty area by Royce. He can't find a colleague, and forward down the right-hand side comes the bearded figure of Grigoris Makos. The ball has gone out of play. I think, in fact, it might have been a handball on this right-hand side. It's going to be a free kick to Greece inside the Germany half on the right-hand side, and it's taken by one of the half-time substitutes, Fotakis, out towards the far side, the left. Crossed into the danger area towards Gekas in the middle, and I think the flag's up on the near side for an offside against Gekas, and it'll be a free kick inside the penalty area for Germany. But while it remains 1-0, for all the negative play from Greece, Danny, they're still in the match. You know, Germany do need that second goal for a bit of daylight.
Yeah, definitely. You've always got a chance, you know, stay in the game. And we were talking before half-time, and we didn't really get to discuss, you know, how the game had gone, but sometimes you have no option. You know, this is almost like a Premier League team playing against a second division team, if you like. You know, the gulf in quality, you know, is that big. So you have to do something different.
Germany have given the ball away, and it's with Salpingidis, played now to Samaras. Samaras midway inside the Germany half on the left-hand side. Greece playing from left to right in the second half. Samaras has, in a fashion, been able to keep possession. And then he plays it backwards towards Torosidis on the far side. Germany have been able to get the ball back, and now Miroslav Klose has it on the right-hand side, the Lazio striker. So often a major goal-scoring threat at these big tournaments. He's in that rarefied air alongside Gerd Müller with regard to goals for Germany at major tournaments. And that's a terrible kick by the goalkeeper. Picked up now on the edge of the penalty area by Schürrle. Poor pass played back to Schürrle by Schweinsteiger, which is a collector's item in itself. And an opportunity that Schürrle might have had to get a shot away has come to nothing, and Greece have got the ball back again with Gekas, who plays his club football in Turkey. Now here's the captain, Katsourannis, forward through the middle towards Gekas, headed away by the Germany defence. And now young Holder Bagstuber of Bayern Munich has got the ball under control to Khedira. And then out towards the right side, and Özil, who can glide forward and find Klose. Back towards Mesut Özil. Didn't complete the pass. Greece are able to clear, and Fotakis can clear it away back into the Germany half, where it's controlled on the halfway line by Badstuber. Now it's on the left with Bayer Leverkusen Schürrle, and now Özil of Real Madrid. Back now to the goal scorer Philipp Lahm, the captain, and then square to Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger has Khedira square. Instead he comes back the other way and plays it wide to Lahm, and now to Özil. 7 minutes played in the second half on 5 Live. 1-0 to Germany in the Euro 2012 quarter-final. Özil to the edge of the penalty area to Schürrle, who's then tackled by Katsourannis, and now they've got a 2-on-2 Greece as they can break down the left-hand side with Samaras. Samaras forward to Gekas. Gekas inside the penalty area, can't wriggle away from Badstuber, and Neuer can sprint off his line and pick up the ball. But that's twice now, Danny. They found a 2-on-2 in this match and not done anything with it.
Well, I think, just look at the Greek formation. I think they are actually playing 4 at the back. They're pushing the 2 fullbacks right on, and they're getting guys to sit in the middle. I think it's Makos that is mainly sitting in front, and they're almost playing with a little square, if you like.
Here's Klose inside the penalty area. Klose plays it back, looking for Marco Reus, and it's hooked away from inside the penalty area by Maniatis, and behind for a corner to Germany.
You've got almost a tight little square of players sat right in front. You know, Makos is in there, and Katsourannis in front of the 2 centre halves. The 2 fullbacks are pushing on. They're leaving Gekas right up the pitch, Salpingidis and Samaras as well. So they're taking a little bit of a risk, Greece.
Corner delivered into the penalty area towards Badstuber, who hooks it forward with his right foot. Did that take a deflection? Not according to the Slovenian referee, although Holger Badstuber disagrees. It is going to be a goal kick to Greece, away to our left-hand side. And of course, with this slightly more attacking mindset in the second half from Greece, it's already, Danny, leaving a lot more holes at the back that we didn't see in the first half for Germany.
Yeah, I've seen them play this way before, Greece. You know, they leave Gekas up front on his own, Salpingidis on the right-hand side, who, as we talked about earlier, has got plenty of energy and a little bit of pace. And basically, they lump the ball forward at times. They hit a lot of long balls and try and play that way. Germany, again, complacency, I think. You know, happy to play 2-on-2 at the back at times, but believe they're good enough to do that. They've got to be very, very careful not to get caught out.
Germany have got a 100%, an unbeaten record against Greece. 8 times they've played in the past. 5 wins for Germany and 3 draws. Greece have never managed to beat Germany, and they're trailing to that Philipp Lahm goal 6 minutes before half-time on 5 Live in Gdansk, as we continue to bring you coverage from inside the stadium here at Euro 2012. Portugal through to the last 4 already. Germany on course to join them. Tomorrow night it's Spain against France, and then the big one that you're all waiting for on Sunday England against Italy with Mike and Alan, Graham Taylor, Chris Waddle. The coverage will start at 6 o'clock in the morning. Nicky Campbell and the breakfast crew will kick it all off before that game that we're all so excited about. In the meantime, here come Greece though. Salpingidis to Samaras, and they've equalised. Greece are back in the game. Salpingidis made it, and Georgios Samaras with a tap-in from no more than 2 yards out. And for all of the domination from Germany, Greece are back on terms. Germany won, Greece won. What about that, Danny Mills?
Well, incredible. I was just talking about the Germans are happy to play 2-on-2 at the back. They had a little bit of a warning. And again, Salpingidis, energy, pace down the right-hand side. Lahm couldn't get there. And Germany have paid for it. They've been sloppy. They've been complacent. It was a fantastic ball in, just along the edge of the 6-yard box. Maybe Neuer could have come out a little bit quicker. Samaras goes in and challenges the keeper for the ball, gets there first, scores. And what was really interesting, all the players ran over to celebrate with Salpingidis. The goal scorer Samaras, who I've been very, very critical of in this tournament so far, because any shot he's had has gone way, way over the bar.
Well, he couldn't miss from there, could
he? He nearly did. But all the players went and celebrated with Salpingidis. He was magnificent in the first game against Poland, changed the game, and certainly he's been a big part of it now. Greece's best player in this tournament by far.
Boateng crosses from the right-hand side, and that's punched away by the goalkeeper as far as Schürrle on the left edge of the penalty area. Crossed in by Schürrle, blocked inside the penalty area by Maniatis, and it's gone behind for a corner to Germany on the left-hand side. Sefakis is an accident waiting to happen in the Greek goal, but so far it's 1-1, and what a story we've got here. You wouldn't have given the Greeks a chance at half-time to get back into this match, but they've done just that with the Salpingidis cross, the Samaras tap-in, and Germany have got to start all over again. Tactically at the moment, Fernando Santos has got it just right because his team are level with 56.5 minutes played. And no matter whether you like it or not, and I think we all agree that we don't, the negative tactics at the moment that have been employed by Greece are paying off for them. Germany have got to start again on the right-hand side with Khedira, cross deflected into the penalty area and smashed away by Papadopoulos and out for a throw midway inside the Greek half on the right. And it's their supporters now, Danny, bouncing up and down behind Neuer's goal in the blue and the white with the flags and the scarves, that are really enjoying this game in Gdansk. Here's Khedira for Germany, just outside the penalty area to Klose. Heavy touch by the veteran, and they've got it back again, Greece. And then Klose's just had a bit of a hack from behind at Salpingidis, and it's a free kick midway inside their own half to Greece, who suddenly are much more confident.
Well, like it or not, you've got to admire the Greeks. You know, they did this in the first game against Poland. They were woeful in the first half. Second half, they came out and had a go and played. You know, against the Czech Republic, they were 2 down, you know, after a couple of minutes. First 10 minutes, they were 2-0 down. That didn't help them. Of course, they dug in against Russia and got the win. And again, somehow, they're one of these teams that, you know, can play very, very defensive, be pretty woeful, in all honesty, and then suddenly they do have a game B.
Well, and for all the talk about Germany and how well they've played in the tournament, they do concede goals. They conceded goals against Holland. They conceded goals against Greece tonight. You know, they do concede goals. They conceded a goal against Denmark, and they should have conceded a goal in the opening match against Portugal when they hit the woodwork twice. So defensively, there is a brittle element to this Germany team. Here's Ozil, though, running forward, and now Schürrle into the penalty area, played back to Khedira, into the box towards Marco Reus. He couldn't gather it, and it's smashed away by Socrates Papastathopoulos back into the Germany half, where Jerome Boateng can pick up the ball in the right back position on the far side. 13.5 minutes played in the second half on 5 Live. Germany 1, Greece 1. Lahm for Germany. Samaras with a totally against the run of play equaliser for Greece, the winners in 2004. Surely they can't do it again. Ozil for the Germans, and now Schweinsteiger. 3 German subs are warming up on the near side, including the dangerous Mario Gomez. Boateng plays the ball to Reus, and then to Ozil, who likes to glide forward towards the penalty area. Plays it back to Reus again, and then to Ozil, right edge of the box. And Ozil just outside the penalty area, looks for support. Lots of blue shirts around him. Played back again to Bastian Schweinsteiger, and now to Philipp Lahm on the left-hand side. Lahm plays it further wide to Andre Schürrle, and Schürrle will run at the fullback on this left edge of the penalty area. Plays it back now to Philipp Lahm. The captain moves away from Salpingidis and runs into the penalty area. Schürrle crosses, it was a terrible cross, and it's over the top of the bar and behind for a goal kick to Greece. If you look at the stats, Danny, in the first half, Germany had 70% of the possession. They completed 344 passes to Greece's 78. Schweinsteiger completed 58 on his own. It was completely one-way traffic, and here we are, 15 minutes into the second half, an hour gone. The Greek fans are celebrating, and it's 1-1. And still the coach looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Well, the biggest stat, Greece, I think, 3 shots in the game, 3 shots on target, 1 goal.
That's unbelievable.
And it's absolutely incredible.
Unbelievable.
They've changed it. They've reverted to type a little bit already. Gekas is already getting isolated, but a little bit of a change in formation. Again, the wide players for Germany haven't quite performed as expected, and I think now we're going to, it's back to the first half. Greece will defend, but at least now they're leaving Gekas up front on his own, which is a little bit of an outball for them.
Sami Khedira in possession, 15 yards outside the Greek penalty area. I think this Greek team looks more comfortable when they're allowed to attack. They don't look comfortable when they're asked to defend all the time. Schürrle into the penalty area, back to Khedira, and then to Bastian Schweinsteiger. Plays it short and square to Ozil, overlapping down the right Boateng. Boateng just outside the box, flicked in. There's the shot. Oh, what a goal! That is a sensational volley by Sami Khedira. 12 yards out, and he smashed it past Safakis. And Germany are back in front with a brilliant strike by Sami Khedira. Germany 2, Greece 1.
Wow, what a fantastic volley. Watched it all the way. Maniatis was completely unaware that Khedira was stealing in. Midfield player, maybe playing in defence, didn't have his shoulders open, didn't see him coming. A great little chip from Ozil, comes into the box, and it floats it in. Ball comes in, and how he's hit that with his right foot.
He's hit it with his wrong foot, Danny, hasn't he?
Effectively, as the ball is coming across from his right-hand side, he's put out a leg, and he's caught that absolutely sweet and driven it straight past Safakis, who had no chance from that distance. That technique is incredibly difficult to do. Well, and now maybe let's see what the Greeks have got now. They don't often score 2.
You cannot believe the power that was generated by that volley from Sami Khedira. It went straight at the goalkeeper, but in truth, Danny, he didn't see it till it was past him, did he?
I think for people to understand, for that coming from your right-hand side, generally the favourite technique would be to hit across it with your left foot. To hit it with your right foot, he's almost had to hit it dead straight. To get that timing right and get that power is fantastic. Khedira, fantastic player for Real Madrid. Brilliant technique, and that was certainly an example of it.
So can Greece respond for a second time? They're certainly trying to come forward down the left-hand side, and here's Gekas. Gekas has made some room and shoots over the top of the bar from 18 yards. That was half a chance for Gekas from the edge of the penalty area. Whole goal to aim at, and he couldn't keep the shot down, Danny.
Well, suddenly we've got a game on our hands. And again, the Germans, this is what happens when you get complacent and you don't start well, whether that be the start of the game. It's very, very difficult to change the tempo, and to up your game. And I think suddenly now, although the Greeks are behind, they do feel slightly that, they've got a chance to get back in this. And I think, as you said, the way the Germans defend, they do allow teams chances if you can get the ball forward.
Well, the second half has been so much better than the first half. Germany 2, Greece 1. Philipp Lahm with a really good right-footed shot from the edge of the penalty area 6 minutes before the break. Samaras equalised with a tap-in from a Salpingidis cross, and then a stunning strike on the volley from Sami Khedira from about 12 yards from a Jerome Boateng cross from the right-hand side. And Germany are back in front in Gdansk with 18.5 minutes played in the second half, and the Greek fans are still singing their songs and making the noise behind Manuel Neuer's goal away to our right-hand side, and they're in possession now in all blue, but that's a really poor ball given away by Maniatis. And here's Miroslav Klose for Germany, slides the ball into the penalty area to Marco Reus. He took too long. He was looking at the goal, he should have pulled the trigger, and it was taken off him by the Greek defenders, and they can come away now down the left-hand side with Papastathopoulos, who felt he was fouled. In fact, he was fouled, surely. It's going to be a free kick to Greece around the halfway line, but that was another good chance for Marco Reus, and he didn't pull the trigger.
Well, it was closer, intercepted the ball, played a brilliant pass, and again Reus just hesitated. I've been a little bit disappointed with the 2 wide players that have come in, Schürrle and Reus. They haven't really played as I was expected. 2 younger players come into the squad, you'd expect them to have a real good go with plenty of energy, but they haven't really produced that.
Torosidis attacking down the left-hand side for Greece. He's won a throw-in following the challenge over there by Jerome Boateng. So it's going to be a Greek throw deep in Germany territory on the left-hand side. I think it's safe to say that should Germany reach the semi-finals, both Thomas Muller and Lukas Podolski will come back into the starting 11 to start that game, and you would think that Mario Gomez would come in as well. Germany leading 2-1, but Torosidis has the ball on the right-hand side, drives in the cross, blocked by Badstuber, and it's gone behind for a corner to Greece. On the right-hand side, it's an opportunity for Papadopoulos and Papastathopoulos to make their way into the penalty area, the two central defenders, and Fotakis to take this corner from the right-hand side. Salpingidis has just run over to the byline and kicked a bit of debris off the field. Lots of blue-shirted Greek players in and around that German penalty area. Germany leading 2-1. Corner delivered into the centre, headed goalwards and headed wide. I think the header was directed goalwards by Papadopoulos, who plays in the Bundesliga for Schalke, but he couldn't get the necessary direction on the ball, and it's a Germany goal kick. Danny Mills, we're just seeing that goal again on the monitor. We've got an angle there right behind Sami Khedira, and he couldn't have hit it truer, could he?
Unbelievable. Almost come off the bottom of his shin, his ankle.
Have you got a sweet spot on your boot?
Well, I think for that, to control that, I think a lot of players who have blasted that over top of the bar or completely sliced it. He hit it with control and timing. That's the secret of that shot. Absolutely excellent. But suddenly now, Greece are a real Jekyll and Hyde side.
Yeah.
Incredible how they've come out and become a completely different team.
It's a lot more open now. Here's Ozil towards the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side, being tracked out there by Papastathopoulos. He's got to the byline, keeps the ball in play, and then Papastathopoulos just brings him down, and then he drags Mesut Ozil to his feet over there, and the assistant on the far side has had to come on and keep Papastathopoulos off Germany's Mesut Ozil, and you would expect the referee to take some sort of action here, Danny.
Well, I think
just manhandled Ozil.
It was a softish foul, and I think Papastathopoulos thought that he went down a little bit too easy and just tried to pick him up off the floor. And then I think Ozil reacted. It was a little bit of handbags and nothing really happening.
Well, Germany are going to make a change, and they're going to take off Andre Schürrle. You might have expected Marco Reus to be the player to go off, and Thomas Muller, the man who was the leading scorer at the World Cup a couple of summers ago in South Africa, the Bayern Munich player, who's such a prospect at the age of 22. He's going to be coming on, so it's going to be a like-for-like change for Germany, and Muller will take up station on the right-hand side of that three-man attack behind Miroslav Klose, the lone striker. So free kick to Germany on the far side, swung in by Ozil, headed goalwards and in, and Miroslav Klose has got another one for Germany. The man who's got the Midas touch in major competitions heads it in. Germany 3, Greece 1, and Germany surely now into the semi-finals of the competition.
Well, lapse in concentration from the Greeks. I think the German substitution, they just took their eye off the ball, and as the ball came in, absolute bullet header from Klose. Fantastic. What a record he's got. Absolutely incredible. It is, the amount of goals that he has scored for Germany is frightening. Not the most mobile, obviously senior in years these days, but just a little bit of movement, climbs above his marker, Papadopoulos, and really bullets a header. Sifakis doesn't cover himself in glory, comes for it, and that's, well, poor goalkeeping, but a very, very good header from Klose.
It's Klose's 120th cap tonight. That's his 64th goal for Germany. They lead 3-1, and here's Alan Green.
Game over. I cannot imagine that Greece can score 2 goals. In fact, I think we're heading for a thrashing for the Greeks. Germany on the attack again. Close into the penalty. Ball breaks. Shot at goal. Hits the goalkeeper. Sifakis, who was really lucky there. That could have been the second goal in 2 minutes for Klose.
I think Sifakis at the moment looks like an outfield player that's
He's
got
awful.
Goal.
He's just awful.
He's flapping at things. He's saving things with his legs when he should be using his hands. There was a big debate about who was the number one for the Greeks coming into this tournament. Halkias got the nod, but he got injured, and then Sifakis has come in and, well, certainly doesn't look any better.
Corner swung in by Ozil, deep looking for Badstuber, headed up in the air, dropping inside the penalty area. Then it's cleared by Greece temporarily. Khedira after that fantastic volley. Then Klose with the header. Germany lead Greece by 3-1. If England get past Italy, it'll be Germany in Warsaw next Thursday. Schweinsteiger shoots from long range, hits a defender, rebounds. Here's Thomas Muller. Muller on to Ozil. Ozil chips it towards Royce on the far post. Defender should have intercepted that, didn't. Royce, though, had to move out of the penalty area to get to the ball. Finds Lamb, back to Royce. Swings the cross in again. Header down, edge of the penalty area. Germany are threatening to overwhelm Greece finally in terms of goal. But here's Samaras, scorer of the Greek goal, on the far side of the field. He runs towards Hummels. He runs past Hummels. Boateng getting back, shoved in the back by Samaras. It's got to be a free kick, that.
Got to be careful, Samaras, on a yellow card.
Yep.
Needless shove in the back. Blatantly wasn't going to get to the ball. But I think this is what's interesting about the Germans. I don't understand why they didn't start like this. If they'd have started the game at this sort of tempo, zipping the ball around, trying to get in behind the Greeks, they could have won the game easily and comfortably in the first half. And I've seen Spain a couple of times as well, and they've done similar things. They've started the game at a very, very slow tempo, and it is difficult to change that and pick it up halfway through a game. I think if England do get through and do face the Germans, I think it'll be a very, very different German team from the start that we see.
Schweinsteiger to Boateng down the right side, almost level with the edge of the Greek penalty. Ball breaks kindly to Germany. Muller shoots behind.
Well, again,
may have got a deflection.
I think now that the Germans really opening up the Greeks. Too simple, little passes that the Greeks are trying to push up. Now suddenly they're starting to chase the ball, and the more you chase the ball, the more gaps open up. And the quality that Germany have, I'll be very, very surprised and a little bit disappointed if they don't go on to score at least another goal. We're
going to have another Greek change. It's an attacking one. Makos has gone off, and a striker, Libropoulos, has come. I'm sure that's not the way to pronounce it. I'll get it right sometime during the commentary.
Nikos, I think his name is.
Corner played in by Germany, well defended by Samaras, heading it away to the other side of the field. Picked up by the other number 7, Schweinsteiger. Into Royce, who's very lucky to stay on the pitch. I thought Schürrle's contribution was far better than Royce's, but obviously Joachim Löw, he picks the team, he chooses the tactics, and Royce is still on the pitch. Lamb, who put Germany in front 6 minutes before half-time. They're now leading by 3-1. I hope for the sake of the game they don't just kill it off now, Germany, and slow it down. Ozil to Khedira. Khedira, I think he was trying to feed the ball through to Schweinsteiger. It's cleared by Greece. Gekas to Samaras on the far side of the field. Where is Libropoulos going to play? Presumably just tucked in behind Gekas.
Quite probably. I think I'm not sure yet whether it's clever or not, but I think he's possibly left Gomez out, thinking, look, we're going to be in a big semi-final, possibly either against the Italians, obviously, or the English. And I think he's thinking about this game. Gomez obviously wants the golden boot, and he may be thinking, well, actually, if I leave him out now, when he comes into the next game,
he's hungry.
He will be really up for it, and he will want to prove a point. And well, we'll have to wait and see, but that could be genius from Joachim Löw.
Well, Klose's record for Germany goals and caps is terrific. There's a shot from long range, well wide of goal by the Greeks. While Klose's record is terrific, I don't think he justified his selection tonight before that header.
Well, better than 1 in 2. That's what he's there for. 120th cap, 64 goals. Sometimes it's not about what you do outside the box. He's there to put the ball in the back of the net, and certainly now has sealed this game, I believe, for the Germans.
17 minutes to go here on 5 Live. Germany lead Greece 3-1. Ozil running forward. He's had a fearless game. Stabs it forward into the penalty area. Close is there. Blocked by the goalkeeper. Royce smashes the ball into the roof of the net, and it's 4-1 to Germany.
Well, again, Klose makes that goal. Darting little run in behind. Papadopoulos can't stay with him. He almost toe pokes it into the goalkeeper, and as it comes back to Royce, he smashes a volley, and well, he's a touch fortunate, hit the underside of the bar and went in. Looks a fantastic goal, but very, very nearly missed an open goal there.
But he didn't. So Klose and Royce, who both arguably could have been substituted a few minutes ago, have both scored.
I'll tell you what, when you see this, if you know, on Match of the Day, on the highlights, if you get a chance, you'll see what I mean. As Klose goes through, it's a great little ball. He just tries to dink it over the keeper, who saves it. and as it bounces back, he absolutely puts his foot through it. It's one of those, it's either going in the top corner or in row Z. Fortunately, it hits the underside of the bar and looks like an absolutely magnificent strike. But at 4-1 now, I think that's it for the Greeks.
Oh, yeah,
They're
absolutely.
certainly not coming back from this now.
Confirmation that Germany will be in the semi-final in Warsaw against either England or Italy. Ozil comes forward. Oh, Ozil's brought down. Now, it's certainly going to be a yellow card for Papastathopoulos. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. Had to bring Ozil down. I think the worrying thing is, again, for hopefully England, if they manage to beat the Italians, is that the Germans have won this at a canter. They've hardly broken sweat. They have looked vulnerable at the back at times. I think that's mainly down to concentration and complacency. I'm not sure they've given the Greeks the respect that they really maybe deserved. And well, now it could end up 5 or 6.
It's nearly 40 yards from goal, this free kick, and given the vulnerability of the goalkeeper, Sepakis, Schweinsteiger might just belt it goalwards here.
Well, I think if he hits the target, every chance this could come back off the goalkeeper.
Schweinsteiger comes forward. No, it's not a shot at goal. He just passes the free kick to the left side to Lahm. Lahm, who scored the opening goal for Germany before half-time. And at 1-0 you thought it was over, and then the equaliser by Samaras. Was there going to be a contest here in Gdansk? Well, no, because it's now 4-1 to Germany. Somebody rang me on the phone in the other night and he said, I don't rate Germany, I really don't rate them. And I just asked him, has he watched Germany?
Well, stereotypes are there for a reason. And the Germans have this stereotype of being efficient, being effective, and being very, very good. And that's basically because they are. Technically they're good, they know how to win tournaments. A lot of the players are almost like machines. They're very, very predictable, but they are exceptional at what they do. And they have this knack, even when they're not playing particularly well, as has been the case tonight, of grinding out results and producing performances. Oh,
Hummels comes forward and he's very unlucky. I think there was actually a foul by Khedira, not Hummels, but the referee's blown his whistle. It's a free kick to Greece. I just have a growing feeling that it is their time again, Germany.
Well, when you look at this side, so young, but such experience, that is the key. Absolutely incredible that this team could be together for possibly 3, maybe even 4 more tournaments.
Ozil to Müller. And Müller chips the ball in towards Klose, just ahead of the veteran striker. One bounce and it's through to Sepakis. 13 minutes to go here on 5 Live. Götze, another of these brilliant young players for Germany, I think will be coming on soon. Maybe it's not.
No, I think it's going to be Gomez, I think.
It is Gomez, sorry. Off you come, Klose.
I think it's one
of
those.
You come.
He will fancy a couple of goals. He's maybe got his eye on that golden boot. So he will probably want to beat Ronaldo. It's probably going to be his biggest threat, I think, for that golden boot. So he certainly will want to get on and want to score.
Ozil to Royce, left of the Greek penalty area. Back to Ozil. And now Lahm. Klose moves to the edge of the penalty area. Says, give me the ball. It doesn't go his way. Now it's tapped to the left again towards Royce. And Royce loses the ball rather easily. And it's Salpingidis hitting it upfield away toward the far flank. Samaras hasn't given up the chase. Boateng gets there first, just chips the ball beyond the Celtic player, but out of play it goes for a throw-in. Gomez. Well, for me, actually, I don't know about you, Ronaldo has been my player of the tournament so far.
Well, I think Ronaldo, it's not quite a one-man team, is it, Portugal? But it's not far off that. I think last night, watching the game, of the dozen or so shots they had in the first half, I think he had 11 of them. That's how sort of prominent a figure Ronaldo is. I think this German team is much more of a team, if you like.
By the way, Götze is coming on as well. Samaras shoots wildly wide, almost went for a throw-in. And here come the changes. Gomez for Klose, obvious. And Götze, well, surely that's for Royce.
Well, I think it's that the ball goes up for the second time. Klose gets a huge reception. And rightly so, hasn't done an awful lot in the game outside the box, but got that crucial goal that gave Germany that little bit of a cushion. And I think both players Gomez coming on, Klose coming off. Massive respect from the fans.
This is the talent I want to see. Götze. Now, what has happened is that Ozil has actually moved towards the left side. We've still got Muller on the right, and Götze's tucked in behind Mario Gomez. I think, they've just got this band of talent, young talent coming through. It's frightening.
It's a conveyor belt, and you have to go back to when they obviously decided to change their whole system of youth football. Looked at it and thought, actually, you know what, this is not working. And then the under-21 team that went on to win the championship a few years ago is now coming to fruition. The likes of Ozil were in that, and suddenly now, there's a system in place where they are producing top quality players, through the German youth system. And I think, that obviously now they've got a very, very healthy future for years to come, and this is the sort of thing that England need to copy.
Rather lazy pass in by Ozil, but it's not cleared properly by Greece. Ozil gets the ball again just outside the penalty area, onto his right foot. Still going, Ozil shoots straight at the goalkeeper, who fumbles it, and Gomez might have scored, but he doesn't.
Nearly a fantastic goal from Mesut Ozil. Just dropped his shoulder. Two players dived in, thought he was going to shoot. Had a little touch to the outside of his right foot as two players went to ground, and then they didn't quite get hold of it. But yet again, Marcus spilled it, and Gomez, offside, couldn't quite get the rebound.
Germany 4, Greece 1. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC. We've got 9 minutes left of the torment for the Greeks to come, and they think they're having a bad time with the economy. Heaven help them. But here's Salpingidis down the right, crosses the ball into the German penalty area ahead of Gekis, and it's away out of play on the far side for a throw-in. I don't really, without getting into politics in the middle of a football commentary, I don't quite get this anger from Greece towards Germany. Germany are trying to keep Europe together financially.
Well, I think the sanctions they're imposing on the Greeks to pay back their loans and what they're doing, I think that's the issue that they have. I think they're feeling a little bit harsh on the interest rates. Having said that, I forgot I owe you £1.
What for?
You can have 2 zlotys instead.
2 zlotys, but what for?
Because I said Man U would win the title, and they didn't on the last day. They let me down in the last minute.
Well, I've got news for you. It's 5 zlotys to the pound, so you're still 3 zlotys short.
Not in my bank, it's not.
Danny Mills, our summariser here on 5 Live. The remaining minutes of the second of the Euro 2012 quarter-finals. Portugal already through. They'll play either Spain or France. Germany going through to play Italy or England. Shot driven in at Neuer's goal, but he's had very little to do, and he makes that save quite comfortably. There was one effort in the first half from Ninnis. I thought it was like a pass back, and Neuer made it look like a goal threat.
Well, I think it was also going wide. It was almost one of them where the keeper hadn't been concentrating for too long, and maybe just took his eye off the ball, didn't quite get the reading of the game right. It had nothing to do up until that point, and as you said, it outstretched, spilled it. Had someone from Greece been running in, could have been a problem, but of course in that first half Greece was so deep they had no one near the ball at all.
Germany are just in the comfort zone now. They're playing out the minutes. They don't look as if they wish to heap further humiliation on Greece, already leading by 4-1. Ozil to Khedira, and now Götze plays it back to Ozil again. The game's down to walking pace. It's almost cruel that the Slovenian referee Skamina, who I'm watching for the 3rd time here in Euro 2012, is allowing us to play the full 45 minutes of the second half. Badstuber on to Ozil, back to Badstuber. Götze is available, but the pass goes instead to Gomez. Gomez back to Schweinsteiger, onto the far side, and Boateng. Boateng was actually caught out a little bit by the goal Samra scored. Boateng should have been in front of the Greek striker. Anyway, Mario Gomez up into the penalty area, wide to Boateng. Boateng declines the cross, just taps it back, and it's with Schweinsteiger to Khedira, on to Ozil. Ozil tackled, and the ball breaks for Greece, and that's a good pass to Samaras on the far side of the field. Gekis is to his right. Great run forward by Salpingidis. Samaras though into the penalty area. Wonderful challenge by Hummels.
I'll tell you what, Hummels there, fantastic challenge. Thought Samaras was going to do him for pace, just went down the outside of him, Hummels turned, just waited, and a brilliant sliding tackle to not just make the tackle but hook the ball, keep hold of it and regain possession as well.
Here's Götze to the far side and takes the return pass, and Götze just chips it into Gomez. Gomez return pass not great, but it still might break for Götze. No, it doesn't, because it's played back by Maniatis, who's been operating as a right back in this second half, moving from his defensive midfield position in the first half. Into Gomez, and then a shot by Ozil, spilled by the goalkeeper, almost to Gomez's feet.
Incredible. Yeah, again, the shot comes in. Little 1-2 on the edge of the box. Brilliant layoff from Gomez. And as Ozil has a shot which is not much more than a pass back. Sifakis.
Sunday goalkeeping.
Well, it is. He really does look like an outfield player that's gone in goal for the night. I think Gomez was only a couple of feet short of making that and putting it in the back of the net.
That's a good turn by Liberopoulos. And now it goes to the far side, and Samaras, he scored the only Greek goal, crosses into the German penalty area, but Neuer knows it's going wide and just allows it to go wide and behind for a goal kick. 5 minutes to go here on 5 Live. Germany 4, Greece 1.
I think we've ended up with the sort of result that most people were predicting. Germany to score a few goals, possibly the Greeks might have got one, but it hasn't been the sort of performance I think from the Germans that we expected. I was expecting a really emphatic performance to probably blow the Greeks away, maybe in the first half, be at least 2-0 up and play some fantastic football. It's been a bit bitty, a bit scrappy at times. Germany have played within themselves. I think a little bit of complacency didn't help them, certainly in the first half, but again they've shown real quality when it mattered, and of course now 4-1 up, cruising to victory.
Khedira to Boateng on the far side of the field, and on it goes to Götze. Back to Khedira. Muller's gone into a central position, again showing the fluidity of these German players in the trio that lurk behind a Gomez or a Klose. Lam to Ozil down the left side. In now towards Gomez. Gomez with his back to the penalty area. Almost fed it through to Muller, but it's taken away. And then it's an elaborate dive from Salpingidis, but he was aided by the challenge from Philip Lam, so rightly is a free kick. There was another shot of the Greek coach, Fernando Santos, and as Darren was suggesting earlier, he is the most miserable man in the world. I mean, he just looks so ugly. Is there ever a smile on his face?
You don't want to see what he says and hears about you and says about you.
I don't care. I smile occasionally. I haven't seen that man smile.
I think it's been hard for him. I think they were always going to be under an awful lot of pressure.
Here's Gomez. Gomez takes up the ball, and then he's being held off it, and it's tapped back to the goalkeeper. That's not a safety first tactic by Greece. Playing it back to that goalkeeper, but they get a free kick for a foul by Gomez anyway. And here's Maniatis. 2.5 minutes to go, plus a fair amount of stoppage time for the substitutions that we've had in this second period, the hold-ups in play. Liberopoulos with Samaras running through the middle. Ball play to the left-hand side. Then it's crossed in towards Samaras. Takes a deflection. Pierce for handball. Penalty against Boateng.
Well, incredible. Surely not.
No. It's not going to go 4-4, Danny. It's all right. We'll have an early night. Don't worry about that.
Well, it'll be interesting. Well, it looks like Salpingidis has got the ball. Obviously, it was Karagounis that missed one in the first game, but again now I suppose it'll be a slight consolation, but yet again it just goes to show that the Germans defensively, they can be got at, and that will give the Italians or the English real hope that they're not perfect, that you can score and create chances against them.
Well, Neuer, who scores penalties as well as saving the odd one, facing Salpingidis now, who converts it very comfortably. Neuer went to his right, and the penalty went to the goalkeeper's left, and it's back to 4-2.
Well, I think, well played Salpingidis. He's been one of the bright sparks, for this Greek team. The only real player that showed attacking promise and has been a threat since he came on at half-time in the first game. He's had great energy. He's worked tirelessly for the team. He's tried hard. He's been their only attacking threat all tournament, and now gets himself another goal. And well, I think that's a good consolation for him.
Did you see the look on Santos' face when the penalty was struck? Honestly, you just thought he'd lost every penny he ever had in the world. and worse.
Perhaps the Germans have taken it off him.
4-2. It really flatters Greece, actually, the scoreline, because it could have been 5-0 at half-time easily.
It could have been, but like I said, I think it really gives, hopefully, and we pray that England get through against the Italians. You know, it gives them hope that, you know, it's not a completely perfect German team. Going forward, yes, they are very, very good, are fantastic players. You know, Hummels has been very, very good. You know, Lahm is steady. Bardstuber, well, maybe he can be got at, and I think certainly at right back. You know, when Boateng plays there, you know, they are vulnerable at times.
Deep into the 90th minute, Greece started the game as if they were desperate to get the first 0-0 in Euro 2012. Well, take that. We've had 6 goals, 4 of them to Germany. How many minutes of added time? Thankfully, meaning minutes. Just 2 added minutes. Another foul on the far side. Free kick to Germany. Level with the edge of the penalty area. The foul was on Götze. Hasn't really had the time to impress, but his time will come. There's no question about that.
I think it's bizarre as well. We've got 6 goals, and I think we can say it hasn't been a great game.
No.
It's not very often that you can say that, but it's just been, you know, the ebb and flow of the game, you know, the way the Greeks were set up in the first half, and, you know, Germany weren't quite at it. And again, it's just been those moments of quality where they've come up with it and managed to score the goals.
From the German free kick, it was rather wasted, and Samaras runs it towards the halfway line. Then he has to check away from Götze, plays it infield. Katsaranis, the veteran, back it goes to the centre of his defence. Papastathopoulos, that'd be great not having to say his name again in the tournament. Easily the most difficult pronunciation of Euro 2012, and I'm sure I got it wrong anyway. Gomez on the far side of the field, checks the ball down, doesn't control it, and is back with Greasy, and is played towards the right side. And Maniatis, is there a third goal for Greece? Ball played in towards the edge of the penalty area. Boateng should clear this. Boateng rather delayed and concedes a corner, or maybe he got a shove in the back. It is a shove in the back, so it's a free kick to Germany, and only 30 seconds of added time remaining.
Yeah, I think that's it now. You know, Greece in the second half have put up a bit more of a fight. I thought when they got it back to 1 each, you know, possibly, you know, they could maybe hang in there. But again, Germans, they've just had too much quality at the end of the day. They haven't been fantastic, they haven't been brilliant, but yet again, you know, they've managed to get through and into the semi-finals, and they are going to be, you know, a threat to anybody.
Spain, France tomorrow night, and then I will be in Kiev for England against Italy on Sunday evening. The final whistle has just been blown here in Gdansk, and it confirms what we all expected before the kick-off. Germany are through to the last 4. Danny.
Well, I think Germany have won this at a canter, really. It was, I suppose, a little bit of complacency from Joachim Low to change things around, change the front 3 players, give them a rest. Didn't really work out for them with Greece sitting really deep, and the tempo of the game was hampered by the Greeks' tactics, if you like. And then, you know, Greece managed to get a goal, did create a couple of half chances in the first half, and then when they got back to 1-1, you feared for the Germans a little bit. You know, you thought, well, maybe can Greece do this? But then, you know, quality goals from quality players. You know, Khedira, fantastic volley, closer with a header, absolutely brilliant, and that really put the game beyond doubt.
But you do feel that there is a vulnerability about Germany as well.
There is, and I've seen Spain as well, and I think it's very, very similar. Going forward, fantastic, but you do feel if you play at a decent high tempo, you can get at them, because at the back they're good, but they're not brilliant.
Final score then in Danzig or Gdansk, whatever you want to call it. Germany 4, Greece 2.